For nearly 35 years, Chuck Davidson's career has been in oil and gas. Like his mother before him, Chuck attended Purdue University, graduating with highest distinction. Although he was interested in the downstream segment, an ARCO recruiter guided him to the upstream division. Chuck signed on and drove from his home in Battle Creek, Michigan to Dallas. While there, he worked evenings to earn his master's degree in management at the University of Texas and met an undergraduate named Nancy Gundy. A year after receiving his advanced degree, Chuck and Nancy married. Son Han joined the Davidson family in 1985.
Early in his career, he worked for ARCO, and he worked the government relations side of ARCO in Alaska, and he was proud of his time in Alaska. But I think he might have gotten a little cold because since that time in Alaska, he spent most of his career in the Gulf of Mexico and in Houston, where it's a bit warmer.
ARCO, Alyeska Pipeline, Vastar, Noble Energy. Chuck established a track record of moving the business of energy production in new and innovative ways.
Well, I think everybody has the same first impression of Chuck Davidson. He's a rather soft-spoken, nice guy, and you just immediately like him.
He has one of those sneaky senses of humor that he'll be talking in a forum and crack a little joke that's subtle. Some people might not even catch it.
But then comes the part where he's more direct and tough, and after you know him for a while, you begin to understand that here is a real leader.
Chuck is a person that you can take what he says to the bank. When he tells you something, you know it's going to happen. You don't have to read between the lines.
He is a very straightforward, on task, very disciplined, organized guy, and that continues today. He hasn't changed one iota.
Attentive, studious, focused, smart as a whip, pays attention to people. That's what makes him so successful in his own business. He cares about his company, he cares about his business.
Chuck has made a name for himself finding reserves of stranded gases and turning these unexploited resources into viable assets. From a methanol plant in Africa to an electrical power plant in Ecuador run by natural gas, to oil and gas operations in Israel, China, Argentina, Equatorial Guinea, Vietnam, the Mediterranean Sea, and the North Sea.
He's not one of those kind of leaders that stands up and points his finger and says, go do it. He's really one of those guys that leads by example, very much so.
He's taken on Noble Energy, and he's done an extremely good job.
I had the opportunity of serving with him on a board there, and he's taken a company with a very rich history since 1932, and he's really built on it and expanded it substantially since early 2000.
Those same attributes, but I've watched him as I continued on the board with Noble. He manages by walking around, he listens to his people.
Even though he listens and is very even-keeled, his ego is squarely on his shoulders. It's not up in the clouds somewhere. Don't think you're going to bowl him over. That he knows, he's very insightful, and he knows exactly what he's doing and where he wants to go.
When you first meet Chuck, he's very quiet, he's soft-spoken, but when he does say something, people listen. It's almost like the old E.F. Hutton ad.
When Chuck Davidson talks, people listen.
He was chairman of the offshore committee under Deemer True, under John Walker, and when I was sworn into office in October, I've wanted to tap Chuck again to repeat the third time because of his experience on the offshore and his ability to relate to lobbyists, congressmen, and even our own staff in terms of education, communication, concerning issues on the offshore.
You know, one of the things that's really ironic is that for a pretty quiet guy, he's a fantastic spokesman for the industry. I don't know whether it's a combination of the focus or the technical expertise or what a conscientious guy he is, but whatever it is, he does a great job for our association and our industry.
So we're on the Hill. Chuck is testifying before a House subcommittee. The subject is natural gas supply, how our industry is part of the solution to consumer needs and prices. Following his statement, a member of Congress that's well known for going after the energy industry starts down the path of, well, tell us about those big profits that your company earns. Without missing a beat, Chuck went right to the heart of the matter. We earn profits and we invest even more than we earn in the search for new oil and gas. That was the end of the conversation.
I think he and Nancy are both interested in the arts, music, the plays, and so forth. He's very active in charitable institutions, so he's he's well-rounded. He's not just a company man.
He's a very selfless person in terms of giving his time.
Chuck is probably one of the kindest individuals I've met. He is even keel. He definitely, his heart's in the right place. Spindletop is a nonprofit organization based in Houston. We're supported by the oil and gas industry, and our focus is to help children in need in the Houston area. He, just when he was president of Spindletop and served on our board for 3 years, he just was always right there.
His commitment at Boy Scouts is quite large. It takes a lot of his time, and in fact, I'm aware that he's going to be the next chairman of the council in Houston, which is the largest Boy Scout council in the United States and the world.
The Independent Petroleum Association of America and Hart Energy Publishing are pleased to honor Charles D. Davidson as IPAA's Leader of the Year.
I truly do think he's one of the best CEOs in our industry.